Going to be an additional card going over to Tord until Ray can secure a basic Pokemon in the hand to start off the game.
And Ray did win the opening coin flip and chose to go second. We see this a lot with Ray. She's choosing to go second and try to attack on the first turn with Teal Mask, Ogerpon EX, or Iron Leaves EX on the first turn. A very aggressive deck. That is what she's going for, trying to put on early pressure and then never let up. Just attack with Toedscruel EX. Now you look at this matchup, Tord has been on the stage a lot. You know, he has been on stream, feels like almost every tournament that he plays in.
Right.
He makes it on camera at some point. Ray has been on stream a couple times and has performed pretty well. You would think, oh, somebody who's newer to the stream may not have as much experience, might be nervous, might not play optimally. Don't think that's been the case. Ray has been able to hold her composure under pressure, and this is the biggest test yet. Top 8 against Tord Reklev. This is the pressure turned up to the max.
Oh yeah,
no.
Oh no, look at that. Look at that. All the Pokemon that we mentioned for Chen are in the prize cards here, the ones that we said you just kind of come out swinging with. 2 of those Teal Mask Ogerpon and the Iron Leaves EX, as well as the Energy Switch at the top. 2 there for Chen. 2 Dragapult EX for Tord Reklev on the right side. Holy moly, that's a lot of Pokemon.
Yeah.
Well, that's awkward.
I think it's much worse for Ray having 2 of the Teal Mask Ogerpon EX in the prize cards. That is one of the big reasons this deck works so well. That's going to be tough with only 2 of them, but not impossible. So excited to get this match up and running. As we mentioned earlier, when these 2 faced off in the Swiss rounds, Ray won, I think, pretty decisively.
It was like 15 minutes or something. This might be a quick one, y'all.
But, I mean, with those prize cards, who knows?
Exactly.
All right.
Anything can happen here in the Pokemon TCG. We have the mulligan drawn extra for Tord, and we're kicking off our first game between these players in our Masters top 8. Let's see if Tord's going to be able to take down his biggest enemy in the Toedscruel EX.
We have the special illustration rare Latias EX versus Toedscruel.
What, you're shocked or something? What do you mean? This is the deck right here. Yeah, the Latias EX start here for Tord, of course, with its Skyliner ability, famous in so many decks, helping those basic Pokemon free retreats, which is pretty nice here. Ultra Ball getting us started as well, throwing away some supporters for Tord to go straight into this deck and start getting some Pokemon out. So we talked about Tord's already been taken down by this deck. Obviously, Chen has very difficult prize cards as well. How is Tord going to be able to capitalize on that? Does he just need to play as decisively as he can, as fast as he can? What do you think, Puka?
Yeah, it can be a difficult matchup. The Toedscruel EX's ability, Protective Mycelium, can prevent the damage counters from Dragapult EX's Phantom Dive from being placed on certain Pokemon. That makes it really challenging, cutting off, really the powerful part of the Phantom Dive attack, making it so it only really hits one Pokemon, limits the strength of that card. But for Tord, it's a couple different things. You want to try to buy as much time as you can. Sometimes Badoo can slow down this Toedscruel deck. If they don't get off to a good enough start, it can shut off those bug-catching sets and things like that that let you burn through the deck really quickly. Otherwise, it's just about trying to find your opening, trying to find little situations where, your opponent misses a card here or there, misses an energy. You're just looking for any opportunity to squeeze out a potential advantage. You just got to cross your fingers sometimes that the Toedscruel deck just doesn't have it.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like you're going to have to wait for the perfect moment to swing the board in your favor. And Chen here, we're talking about all of those Teal Mask, or 2 of those Teal Mask Ogerpon in the prize cards that can limit Ray here from being able to Teal Dance, get these energy onto the board, because you have both your Teal Dance and your attachments for turn here. We've already seen the attachment for turn, speaking of which, on this Toedscruel in the active position here for Ray. Straight into this Iono here, so fresh hands for both players.
Oh, yikes. That's not a great... Yeah, that face
expression?
says it all. There is a Squawkabilly EX in hand, but also 2 Toedscruel EX. If Ray wants to use the Squawk and Seize, she has to discard 2 Toedscruel EX, and there's a Badoo sitting there on the bench as well, which would prevent stuff like Super Rod from being played to shuffle them back in. Ray's going to have to decide right away, and the Squawkabilly comes down. We're going to see the Squawk and Seize.
Oh my gosh, the Squawk and Seize. We're discarding the hands here, drawing up to 6 fresh cards. 2 Toedscruel EX in the discard pile here for Ray Chen as we form. Oh, wow, that's several bug catching sets, I think, to the hand. We have one of those Teal Mask Ogre Pawn here, but whoo, now we got a Squawkabilly. Only chance to use it is on your first turn, so that's it. Squawkabilly's down. It has been utilized. We're jumping back into the deck here with this bug catching set. This card is so good in these grass decks. It's like an Earthen Vessel and a Buddy Poffin kind of combined, except better somehow too.
It's not always better. That time we just got one.
Yes, that's true.
Energy.
Yeah, that's true. You still have to hit those cards for sure. But combination of your grass energy and your grass Pokemon, as well your basic grass Pokemon. Ray Chen is going to net another grass to the hand here and shuffling up after that.
Yeah, I think for Ray, it's about, ideally you would get an attack off this turn. You would find your prime catcher, maybe go after the Dreepy.
Let's just kick.
Yeah, I don't know about that. You need the Teal Mask Ogre Pawn EX to Teal Dance and get energy into play and use some of those energy switches. Right now, that has not come together. Oh, the prime catcher was the top part of the deck.
Look at that. It's so close. We did the Teal Dance to draw one, but it's...
And now Ray's actually going to have to make a somewhat interesting decision. Does decide to take the Toedscruel EX off of the bug catching set. The reason this can be a little bit tricky is if Tord plays Iono on the next turn, that card will go to the bottom of Ray's deck, and we know the other 2 Toedscruel EX are in the discard pile.
Right.
There's no way to get them back, and you would be cut off from item cards from, Itchy Pollen, from Badoo. So this is a bit of a risk, trying to set yourself up for the next turn. If Tord happens to have an Iono and plays it next turn, this could backfire, but Ray is just trying to set herself up to have a good attack on the second turn.
Yeah, that's exactly what it looks like. We're going to pass it back over here to Tord now to kick things off. Let's see the hand for Tord here. What's it looking like? We see a Buddy Poffin into the hand. Another Dreepy already in the hand as well. A Night Stretcher. Brock Scouting. Wow, look at that. Yeah, plenty of cards here to work with for Tord.
Not a particularly explosive hand, but hey, it's good enough.
We got some Pokemon out here.
Yeah.
We're taking it slow. We're taking it easy. We're establishing the board here. That Latias is already in the active, so can jump out of there. Dreepies are being put onto the bench here to give Tord as much pivot into additional attackers as possible as we establish these little dudes.
Yep, Tord's going to take a look through his deck, I believe. Just going to search out, make sure he remembers what's in his prize cards. And again, try to buy some time against this Toedscruel deck. Need to get a couple Dracloak into play to use that Recon directive. We'll see the Brox scouting here, I'm sure, to grab one of those Stage 1 Pokemon and start to look through the deck and find hopefully some other Dracloak and go from there. This is a little bit of a slower build of the Dragapult deck, relying on the Itchy Pollen from Badoo to try to buy you some time. Tord does have some tricks in this deck, as we saw yesterday in his match against Andrew Mahone, some ways for him to buy some time in certain matchups. So we'll see if any of that comes up. But I think Tord is aware that Ray knows probably all of his tricks, and some of them may not work.
Yeah, they call it the slow and steady Dragapult build. Slowly building up here, that evolution Pokemon that was sought out off that Brock scouting here into the Recon directive for Tord. Ooh, but
not a great one. Just the Neo upper energy
and the counter catcher.
That's not going to find another Dracloak, so that's going to be a pretty slow turn for Tord.
Yeah, not any additional draw there. One of those to the bottom, one of those nets to the hand here. Remember, there's also 2 Dragapult EX stuck in our prize cards as well for Tord. So we got plenty of Dreepy out here, but only 1 Dracloak so far, and still has some prize cards to go through to get into additional Dragapult EX besides the one that we have in the deck. That is an additional energy onto this Dracloak here, and we see the jab there with that Budew, 10 damage with that Itchy Pollen. No energy required there, but the item cards are locked for Ray Chen.
I think you see Ray there hoping to draw up boss's orders on this turn. The Dracloak with the 2 energy cards on it is such a tempting target to go after, but was not able to find the boss's orders on this turn. So far the game plan has not gone well for Ray. You're hoping to attack turn 1 going second. If not, you're hoping to, boss's orders up something that's important for your opponent. It's just going to be an attack into the Budew on this turn, it would seem. So not the greatest situation, not as advantageous as it could be, but Ray will still get the first knockout and does have a Toedscruel EX up and running.
Right, that's pretty nice here. The Toedscruel EX that we were kind of worried about potentially being difficult to get out because 2 of them were already discarded. This one is up, it's running here. It's just kind of an awkward board to have here for Ray Chen, partially due to those prize cards as well. The Professor's Research grinded through more of this deck here for Ray Chen as well, fresh 7 cards. But yeah, that Toedscruel EX, the Colony Rush here, 80 base damage from this Colony Rush. It requires 2 grass energy, but it also does 40 additional damage for each of your bench Pokemon that also have grass energy attached. So not only are you putting the protective mycelium, you're communicating to all of the mushroom brethren and the entire field of your Pokemon with those grass energy to protect them from the effects of your opponent's attacks. But you also are outputting more damage for that Colony Rush as well. You're bringing the whole gang and rushing out. And this time, it's going to take a Budew down. That's the first prize card. And taking that Budew out, Tord, on the other hand, is starting off our turn promoting that Latios EX.
Right, so one big thing that Ray was probably upset about was not having a way to protect the Toedscruel on the bench.
No.
Only things with grass energy attached get the protection from the protective mycelium, and Toedscruel does only have 60 HP, so it is a prime target for a Phantom Dive from Dragapult EX.
Being hunted right now.
Yeah. Tord does have the Counter Catcher as well, and is just going to go hunting for prize cards. Bringing up the Mew EX.
Jeez.
And we see the Maractus go to the discard pile. That is one of the tricky cards in Tord's deck. He may have tried that out against Ray and realized it doesn't work. Ray has some ways out of it. And the Protective Mycelium does prevent that effect of not letting your Pokemon retreat. So, as identified, this is not a card I want in this matchup. But is going to have a very powerful turn. You see the Phantom Dive, knock out the Mew EX, possibly knock out the Toedscruel. Ray is not fully established. You need a lot of grass energy in play in order to make this work and do enough damage to knock out a Pokemon EX as big as Dragapult. So it's going to be an awkward turn for Ray to follow this up.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, of course, being hindered by the lack of the Teal Mask Ogerpon. That usually you have a bunch out there. You're teal dancing all around, getting all of these grass energy out, protecting your field, adding to the Colony Rush. It's a strategy that is working, but just not at the moment for Ray Chen. And you see what Tord is able to do with these turns as things go forward. I mean, we talk about Dragapult EX as if it's like a bullet train, you know? Once it's rolling, it's hard to stop. That is for sure. And you see why. These recon directives, they draw into additional cards. It only requires 2 energy for the Dragapult EX to attack. We don't have any protection on some of our Pokemon now, unfortunately, for Ray Chen. So this is what's being set up for Tord to actually see a better matchup here against this Toedscruel EX deck when sometimes he can suffer greatly going up against it. So it's pretty nice here for Tord. I'm telling you, the Celebi, it's shining down on him right now, but we're not going to count Ray Chen out yet. So far here, Tord is going to be able to knock out this Mew EX. That's gone. That's 2 prize cards and the restart ability off the field. Toedscruel's taken out with that 60 damage counters from the Dragapult EX Phantom Dive. That's 3 prize cards here for Tord Reklev leading in this match so far.
Yeah, definite advantage to Tord in this situation. It's going to be really difficult for Ray to respond with a knockout on this Dragapult on this turn.
More energy. We need more energy.
Energy. Probably need some energy switches to move some around to your other Pokemon. It's more difficult with the 2 Ogerpon in the prize cards and the Iron Leaves in the prize cards. Those are both ways that let you get more energy around all your Pokemon.
I mean, it plays like 4 energy switch too, because that's a huge part of its strategy to spread those energy out to the entire colony, the mold colony. It's forming here.
So what is going to be the plan for Ray? Is this a turn where perhaps you try to target down a different Pokemon? You are at 5 prize cards, so you're going to have to take out 2 Pokemon EX and then a 3rd Pokemon somewhere. So this could be an opportunity to just go after like one of the Dracloak if you have a boss's orders. Try to get on even prize cards and then try to close it out with 2 big attacks after that. Yeah, it's a long road ahead. That was a huge turn from Tord.
Right, and let's see what Ray Chen can do with some item cards now here. We got the Nest Ball being played to bring out a basic Pokemon here for Ray Chen. We'll see what else is in the hand. Did you see anything in the hand, Kyle, that could potentially help Ray so far here in this turn?
I mean, there's a lot going on. And this deck, once it has access to item cards, can do a lot of stuff in a single turn.
It's got a lot of items.
Yeah, so I think we're going to see a pretty lengthy turn where Ray is going to play a bunch of stuff. It's just, will it be enough? There's a long way to go in order to knock out this Dragapult EX.
Long way, a lot of damage. These Dragapult EX are bulky, 320 HP. Of course, you know, it is a stage 2 evolution Pokemon, so the heft is warranted, I suppose, on that Dragapult. It's got a bunch of babies on it as well, shooting some lasers too. So, yeah, Ray Chen has a big amount of HP to get through. We'll have to see. Pheasantippity's joining the field from that Nest Ball. That's going to allow for some additional draw support here for Ray Chen. But it's like you said, Puka, is it going to be enough here? We're going to net 3 cards to the hand. Looks like we've already been building up a decent hand with not being able to play item cards. So it's really where Ray Chen wants to take this.
Yeah, so the way it works out, you need 6 grass energy spread out on your benched Pokemon. That's energy on 6 different benched Pokemon.
Right,
so you need the area 0 under depths to expand the bench. And then you need to find a way. Right now, there's only 1 Pokemon on the bench that's got a grass energy. Ray needs to find a way to make that into 6. And I don't know if you know this, but you can only attach 1 energy card per turn.
Yep, unless you're Teal Dancing.
Yeah.
But so that's about it.
It's going to require a bunch of Teal Dances, probably a bunch of energy switches. I think it is possible to pull this off, but it's going to be pretty tough. I think the easier thing would be to target down a benched Pokemon this turn and maybe just take a single prize card.
Oh, yeah, this is tough. You just try to protect your board, try to still get through these prize cards, and just try to withstand this matchup here for Ray Chen. As we see the Toedscruel EX back on the discard pile. So sad. They dropped too early, Puka. But we got another one of these Teal Mask Ogerpon. That is going to allow for more attachments for us. Now we have the Teal Dance ability being used there. Also draws us an additional card here for Ray Chen. And then we also get the energy attachment as well for Ray.
There is the area 0 under depths that can be played, so now the bench has expanded to 8.
All right, Ray.
Does open up this play a little bit more.
Ray's got those Terra Pokemon in those Teal Mask Ogerpon, so area 0, we got 8. Actually, on both sides, technically. Tord also has 8 now as well, thanks to that Dragapult EX.
Yeah, I think one of the issues here is Tord is currently ahead in the prize race, and there are so many easy targets on Ray's bench. You see Tord has the Blood Moon Ursaluna EX already in play. Eventually that will be able to attack, and it will just take a boss's orders to go after something like a Teal Mask Ogerpon EX. That's the most likely way that this game would end. And Tord plays a lot of boss's orders. It's going to be tough to dodge him taking the last prize cards here.
Yeah, Tord is well known for playing very consistent decks and decks that have a lot of boss's orders as well. To add to that consistency, you know, choosing where you want to attack, when you want to attack. It's always a nice ability to have when you're playing the Pokemon TCG. We're going to see the Super Rod that got that Mew EX back, the Nest Ball to bring it out onto the field once again here for Ray. That's an additional Pokemon that can get a Grass Energy in the future, add to the damage output of the Colony Rush on that Toedscruel EX, and of course has the restart ability if we get there as well to draw some additional cards. But Ray Chen just needs to continue to follow this and hold on here as Tord Reklev is kind of eyeing down, probably feeling much better than the previous matchup against Ray.
Yeah, so far. All right, so Ray's trying to optimize this as best as possible. Energy switch moves an energy to the Toedscruel, so that one's going to be protected from the Phantom Dive. Restart for one card. I think hoping to find a boss's orders off of this one card. There's still Flip the Script available as well. And 3 big cards here. Will Ray find a way to go after a benched Pokemon? I don't see it.
Siono, the Grass Energy, and a Toedscruel as well for Ray Chen. So not finding that Gust ability to try to slow Tord down as much as possible.
Still got a Teal Dance.
Yeah, we have a Teal Dance and I think an attachment for turn still too.
Yeah, the Teal Dance will draw a card. And it was not a boss's orders. There is still the Prime Catcher to find. Don't think it's possible to get the knockout on Dragapult here because of all those prized Teal Mask Ogerpon EX, so gotta be something.
Yeah, that's such a bummer. Teal Dance into a card, just not the right supporter we needed. I think it was the research, not the boss's orders here for Ray Chen. So we're still just kind of stuck with this hand here. Of course, the Toedscruel EX is charged up with this Colony Rush. Going to attack into this Dragapult EX. Doesn't have enough energy spread out on the bench to take a knockout on it. So the Dragapult EX remains here with 120 HP left as Tord Reklev goes here. Surviving a turn with this Dragapult EX. As we're going to start with these recon directives here. And now it gets scary because Tord Reklev is going to have a lot of play here for this turn. Well, look at that, too. The third Dracloak found straight into another recon directive, counter catcher and a boss's orders, and the counter catcher is going to go into the hands.
Yeah, I think maybe some future planning here from
I was thinking
Tord.
that, too.
He put the boss's orders on the bottom of the deck, preparing for perhaps an Iono on the following turn. He wants that not in his hand so that he could potentially improve his odds of drawing into it.
Yeah,
off
of course.
The Iono. He's already got a boss's orders in hand for this turn.
Oh, nice.
The counter catcher isn't going to do anything because he's winning.
It's ahead in prize cards, yeah, or
Yep.
taking prize cards, I should say.
No, and he already has 2 boss's orders in hand, so
Oh, there's 2?
no sense
Yeah, we didn't need that.
getting a third one.
Oh my gosh. Well, we
Yeah.
have a healthy Dragapult EX being evolved into here for Tord Reklev. Gets that Neo Upper Energy A-Spec card as well, and we see one of the 2 boss's orders being brought bringing this Toedscruel into the active position as well for Tord.
Yeah, and this is why the game is going to be so difficult for Ray to win. Tord plays 4 boss's orders. A lot of people in Dragapult were really slimming down on that card, playing like 2 boss's orders and then playing counter catchers. No, we have the full 4. And this card is obviously extremely good, right? How many times do we say, oh, someone plays the boss's orders to win? Yeah, why aren't we just playing 4 of them? It comes up so often, and you see Tord just kind of going back to the basics with this deck.
Getting
4 bosses
both.
orders. This is going to let him take the lead and keep it. It's going to be so tough for Ray to dodge the last boss's orders. Especially it's 5 prize cards to 2. Ray's going to have to take 3 knockouts before Tord can take 1. And this is just not looking good for our Toedscruel player in the first game.
Yeah, so sad here. And, you still get to play around with the damage as long as those Pokemon aren't being protected by that Toedscruel EX. So that's sad to see here, but we're going to keep going here. Super Rod's going to get us this Toedscruel back. Can be a combination of Pokemon or these grass energy, because that's all we're playing. 12 grass energy. It's a lot of grass energy. Yeah, speaking of 4-ofs, you see the strategy a lot of times. If it's not like the setup cards, you see a lot of the strategy in the 4-ofs for our opponents or participants' decks. And we saw like the 4-of Teal Mask Ogerpon. It just wasn't a 4-of, sadly, thanks to the prize cards for Ray Chen this time around. So anytime your strategy is greatly hindered, it's going to be a difficult match for you. Ray Chen still has this expanded bench thanks to that Area 0 underdepths remaining in play.
Yeah, I'd say the only positive thing is that Tord doesn't have Pheasantipity EX in play at the moment, so no access to flip the script. There are still 2 Dracloak out there, 2 uses of the Recon Directive to dig through the deck, but it is possible that the Iono could slow him down a little bit. It's still going to be a tough game to win, but Ray Chen will try her best. It all starts here, disrupting the hand, sending that boss's orders to the bottom of the deck.
Yes, which is exactly like you said, Puka. That is why the other boss's orders kind of adding a veil of safety here for Tord, protecting against this Iono, because you shuffle your hand, you place it at the bottom of the deck, but then you have to draw per prize card off the top of your deck. So if you know your cards are at the bottom, you're not going to draw into them, at least immediately. You're going to need to shuffle up, have other ways to draw, which you said Tord does not have in the Pheasantipity, at least at the moment. It's just a Psychic Energy and the counter catcher in the hand here for Tord. Ray Chen has put everything in the way with this Iono, trying to disrupt in this late game as more energy are going down now onto the Teal Mask Ogerpon with the Teal Dance ability to draw an additional card here, and we're into a bug catching set.
Yeah, you can see how this deck's supposed to work now.
Yeah, it's getting there.
Yeah, it's important for Ray to get a grass energy on the Toedscruel. The path to victory here is you attack with your Toedscruel EX, get a knockout. Tord can't find a boss's orders. He has to attack into it, and then you would retreat into a new Toedscruel EX on the following turn, get another knockout, and then hope again that Tord doesn't have a boss's orders or even a counter catcher at that point. There's going to be so much stuff you have to dodge at this stage, but Ray is going to try. It's not over yet. Oh, and actually going after the Dracloak, cutting off one of these Recon Directives. This is a smart play. This is a way to reduce the number of cards that Tord will see over the next couple turns and potentially prevent him from finding that game-winning boss's orders. Yeah, his hand is not good.
No, it was not good off of that Iono, that is for sure. Also netted iron.
Okay.
Oh, was that?
He just has boss's orders. All right, Tord Reklev takes game number 1, finding the boss's orders to close things out.
That was the top deck?
Off the Recon Directive.
Oh, okay. I was like, what? How did I not see that? Okay, that makes a lot more sense. Tried to limit the Recon Directives, but cannot limit Tord Reklev, as we see there. The Recon Directive leading straight to that boss's orders. I guess it's a good thing it went to the bottom of the, or the bottom of the deck that time. So it could somehow end up back at the top here for Tord Reklev. And that's going to be game 1 between these players. And I'm sure, like we said, Tord is feeling probably much better, seeing as though we were told it was a 15 minutes conclusion between these players previously in their former matchup. Let's take a look back at our replay between these players in the Toedscruel versus Dragapult EX matchup.
Yeah, it probably feels better because he won a game in this match.
Right, exactly.
But yeah, I mean,
didn't get too owed.
Yeah, this is what you got to do, right? Take advantage while you can. Ray had a slow start. Tord was able to capitalize, slow things down with the Itchy Pollen, get a quick Dragapult EX, take a 3-prize turn. and Ray just was not able to find the setup needed to get the big colony rushes for one-hit knockouts. That's the key, and Tord was able to maintain his lead with the boss's orders. I think he played 3 boss's orders that game.
Pure consistency.
Yep.
The boss himself playing those boss's orders.
Final boss here
right.
at NAIC for sure.
Exactly.
This is the guy that you do not want to see your name paired against once we get to this stage of the tournament. He's not invincible, but he sure wins a lot.
He's got a lot of plot armor, that is for sure. A lot of aura as well. He's always swagged out in these Pokemon shirts. I mean, how beautiful is that? Pikachu eating a snow cone. You don't get better than that, of course.
We got Pikachu eating two different things. They got the ramen Pikachu.
Yeah.
Then they got the shave ice Pikachu.
Hey, I'll take it.
Yeah.
Pikachu eating snacks. That is what I love here. Yeah, but Tord, I mean, I think every day I've seen him, he's wearing a different Pokemon shirt. He had a collage of Psyducks on one, and it was so cute. Love to see that. But I know that Ray is going to love to see a win, is what she is hoping for here in this next match. Tord.
A little sweaty out there.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. My hands would be sweating, that's for sure. These players are on the main stage here in our Masters Top 8 here at one of the largest tournaments of all time, really. The North America International Championships of 2025, the biggest one yet. They've worked themselves all the way to the top here, the Masters Top 8. Let's hope the prize cards aren't as limiting here this time for Ray Chen in this match, because I want to see this Toedscruel EX deck absolutely explode with the Colony Rush, with the Mycelium protecting everybody, and go in turbo mode. I want to see it perform here for us, Puka.
Yeah. You just see, Tord wiping off his hands a little bit. We mentioned he has been on stage a lot. He's been in a lot of these high-stakes matches. But even the best, most experienced players still get nervous, right? You still feel the nerves. Doesn't matter how many times you've been up there. It's still a big moment. Nobody is impervious to making mistakes at this level of play. And, Tord is an excellent player, probably the greatest player we have seen in this era.
Right.
But even the best can crack under pressure sometimes. We haven't seen it very often, but nerves are still a factor. I think Tord's probably feeling pretty calm after that first game. It's about as well as he could have hoped things would go. Got a pretty easy win, to be honest, so now he's got some breathing room. And the prize cards aren't too bad for him in this one. So yeah, I think he's feeling pretty relaxed right now. The pressure is actually going to be on Ray after losing that first game.
Yeah, the pressure is definitely over to Ray Chen this time around. Can we see Ray Chen pick up a win, bring us to a Game 3, give us an exciting finish here between these players in our Masters Top 8? Ray will be going second this time in this match here. So Tord's going to lead us off with 2 Dreepy brought to the field with that Buddy Buddy Poffin.
We'll see if there's any energy attachment to go with it. Looks like there is the luminous energy going on to the Dreepy. So Beautiful. This is a pretty good start for Tord. Opens with the Buddy Buddy Poffin, gets some Dreepy down, passes the turn, and says, all right, do your worst.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we'll see what Ray Chen can give us here. We're looking at the top 7 right now to get these grass Pokemon or grass energy. I just saw a nod here. A bunch of grass energy already in the hand and just a Toedscruel.
How bad was that hand? Hold on. I don't know if there's access to a Teal Mask Ogerpon. Okay.
Oh, we got an S-Ball.
There is an S-Ball. That might be the only playable trainer card
Holy smokes.
in Ray's hand. It might all be riding on this Teal Mask Ogerpon EX to Teal Dance for something good.
Come on, one card here. We can Teal Dance. We've got plenty of grass energy in the hand here for
again,
Ray.
2 Teal Mask Ogerpon EX in the prize cards. Are you kidding me?
Oh my gosh, how did we not see that, Puka? And wow, okay, 2 Teal Mask Ogerpon, the same thing we saw last time. This time does, I guess, have that iron leaves, but the 2 bug catching set as well. I mean, wow.
How is Tord going to win this one? Never count him out for nonsense like this to happen.
The aura, I'm telling you, Badoo here. Ray Chen does have the 4 of the Teal Mask Ogerpon, but we saw it in our game 1 how limiting it is when you don't get that bonus energy down that plays into your 4 energy switch. Puts all of those energies to boost up your Toedscruel EX. Here we go.
It's
another
a nest ball. Okay, we get another shot at this.
Woo.
Here comes what I assume is another Teal Mask Ogerpon EX.
One more time.
Just keep dancing.
Just keep dancing, exactly. When in doubt, dance it out here. We're going to get another Teal Mask Ogerpon EX out here. That's going to lead to another Teal Dance, an additional card to the hand to help Ray Chen keep going here in this
what is the one card?
What was it?
Oh, a Super Rod.
That is a late game card. We do have the Toedscruel from the hands that Ray started with here, the Toedscruel inactive, but
hate to see it. 2 games in a row, no turn 1 attack from Ray Chen. This deck consistently...
And really only 3 cards played.
Yeah,
that's
consistently this deck is able to generate enough energy, use energy switches. You know, there's Squawkabilly EX, there's the Iron Leaves EX. You are able to put on pressure turn 1 with this deck. That is part of the strength of this deck.
You're going through it.
You attack turn 1, you attack turn 2, you just keep the pressure on. This has been devastating.
Yeah, very devastating to see. And now Tord is going to have these turns once again to just build up. Gets this Dracloak out. The Jamming Tower just for funsies because we're about to discard some cards here with the Professor's Research.
Yeah, neither player plays any Pokemon tool cards, so that's worthless.
It's literally nothing.
But may as well play it, I suppose. Yeah,
right.
Tord does find 1 Dracloak already, and it will be Itchy Pollen time, I'm sure.
Exactly.
Gotta buy some time with the Badoo, give you some time to power up your Dracloak, which will evolve into Dragapult EX eventually. If you're sitting in Tord's seat here, this is exactly how you wanted this to go. Your opponent stumbles in the opening turns, you get a perfect start. Yeah, must be nice to be Tord Reckless.
It must be nice, absolutely. Must be nice, still remaining calm, cool, collected, despite I'm sure there's a lot of adrenaline going on right now for both of our players here. But I want to see the fight back. You know, Puka, I'm always rooting for the underdog as well. So whenever a player's behind, I just love to see these incredible comebacks that we can see sometimes in the Pokemon TCG.
Yeah, especially the underdog deck, the Toedscruel EX.
Right.
One that, you know, we were aware of after Ray's run at the Portland Regional Championships, but I think if you asked 100 people which deck would have been the #1 seed after the Swiss rounds were over, I don't think any of them, unless you were polling Ray Chen, would have said Toedscruel EX.
Right. Yeah, I actually watched an interview with Ray Chen, and she was talking about how she sometimes determines what she plays on a coin flip, or I guess a dice roll or something like that. But
I respect that. I've done that before.
Right, exactly. And I think that's how they ended up with this Toedscruel deck. So look at this now. Ray Chen all the way in Masters top 8 thanks to that here. But that is pretty cool to see. But yeah, I want to see it go further, Puka. At least I want to see us go to a game 3 between these players because it's an awesome matchup. Tord Reklev just seems to be finding some luck here and some plot armor as we see Ultra Ball being played here to discard a couple of cards. We saw the Badoo that was already netted from the Professor's Research, and then we got another one out on the field, so that additional Badoo's easy, discard there. And now we're going to get into this Dracloak here for Tord. That's going to be a second recon directive here for this second turn here for Tord Reklev.
Yeah, and I will say, obviously that was not the start that Ray was hoping for, but this is not over by any means. There's still a lot of game left to be played. It just wasn't an ideal start. Ray didn't have a supporter card, but does still have a couple energy cards in hand. We'll be able to use Teal Dance on the next turn to draw some cards, get some more energy in play. Very likely we will see her attack on the second turn, but it doesn't feel good knowing you missed your first attack. Tord is setting up perfectly.
Right.
There's not going to be a lot of room for error for you throughout the rest of this game. And right now, your hand is still not very good.
Yeah, now you're even more limited as well. It's this Itchy Pollen is going to lock those item cards down too. It's very similar to what we saw in our game one between these players here, but Pheasantipity EX is going to drop to the bench first before this Itchy Pollen. Now we are underway here. What was the top deck, Kuka?
A Toedscruel, not EX.
Oh, no. The non-rule box Toedscruel.
Huge teal dance here. What is the card? It's a bug catching set. You can't play it.
That is an item card that's being locked by this little Badoo. The Itchy Pollen is holding strong here.
Boss's orders is a huge play to go after the Dracloak with the energy on it. Can potentially stop Tord from attacking with Dragapult EX on this next turn. If he was able to get a Dragapult EX, counter catcher up the Toedscruel, and knock out both of them at once, you got to think this game would almost be over. But Ray is going to try to slow down Tord, attack with the Myriad Leaf Shower, get rid of the Dracloak with the energy, and say, okay, give me at least one break in this game.
Yes, please. We need it here. Gets the bug catching set. No, we wanted that Ogre Pawn there, but gets the bug catching set out of the prize cards. Does take out that Dracloak that had the energy attached with the Myriad Leaf Shower, hitting additional damage for each energy on both of our Pokemon there. Tord Reklev going to kick off this turn now. Professor researching, that was a slam of the hand there. Ray's even like, let me take a look at this real quick.
Yeah, Tord is digging for Neo Upper Energy on this turn, that A-Spec card. If he can find that, a counter catcher, and a Dragapult EX, he will wipe out both Toedscruel from play and take a huge lead in this game. It's about finding the A-Spec card on this turn.
Yeah, we know what's at stake here. That was a professor's research for a fresh 7 cards. What do we see in the hand, Puka?
A lot of stuff that's not pink.
Yeah, I don't see anything. Hot pink, that does make it easy for us to find. Here's the Recon Directive. Oh, same card there.
Choice.
Right.
But he gets one more shot.
Exactly. That's going to lead us to another Recon Directive here for Tord. Shiny pink, Neo Upper Energy. It's going to unlock a lot here for Tord. Can he hit it?
No, I don't see it.
Wow.
Okay. And actually, I don't see any energy.
What?
I don't think he's going to be able to attach this turn.
That's a huge hand, and we don't have a single energy in it. Yeah, look at that. It's just item cards, supporters, couple of Pokemon in there as well for Tord, but not an energy.
What was that?
Sheesh. That's kind of crazy off of research. Now we're seeing the look through the deck here off this Ultra Ball.
You saw the Neo Upper Energy was actually near the bottom of the deck.
Yes.
So was not going to draw into that. Yeah, this is kind of awkward now. You're going to be back in the same position next turn where you need to find the Neo Upper Energy. The Itchy Pollen from Badoo will slow down Ray once again.
But
She has not played a supporter card yet. So it's possible her hand still just won't have anything going on.
yeah, that's true.
But you don't love to give your opponent a free turn in this situation.
Nope. Yeah, you want to continue the pressure there, but now with this lack of energy here for Tord, which is kind of shocking to see, the plot thickens potentially here. Tord is going to utilize being behind in prize cards, going to prize or counter catcher up this Toedscruel into the active position here, and then just Itchy Pollen, hit it for 10 here on these Toedscruels.
What is the card for the turn? Okay, it's a Latias EX. That at least allows you to retreat your Toedscruel and attack. And we actually see the regular Toedscruel coming into play just to prevent, I don't know. I don't know how much it's going to do. It's got the slime mold colony, can prevent rescue stretchers from being used. And now Tord is counting the deck. How deep can I look at this? What are my odds of finding that Neo Upper Energy and starting to put pressure back on my opponent?
Yeah, we're doing something at least here. We're getting that Teal Mask Ogre Pawn to the hands now as well off of that knockout of the Badoo. Maybe that can help us out a little bit more to get more grass energy on the field, to be able to energy switch them around as well for Ray Chen. Tord here promoting this Dracloak into the active. As we take a look at this hand, do we have an energy now?
Not yet. He's looking for the Neo Upper Energy again. First Recon Directive. Nothing there.
Yeah, I'm going to put
be
that.
able to recon directive twice this turn, plus use flip the script. So there's going to be a lot of cards to look at. Can play a supporter card as well.
Or
You got to think he's very likely to have a way to find the Neo upper energy this turn and start attacking. See, Toward asking how many cards does Ray have in her hand, perhaps debating playing the Iono, but has also realized your hand has been really bad this game.
Yeah, maybe I don't want to do that. Yeah, that is a little awkward. He's going to choose to flip the script first here. Let's see if we can see this energy.
There it
has it. Shakes his head here as we find that Neo upper energy. That is going to apply both energy needed for the Dragapult EX, thanks to it being that Stage 2 Pokemon. The 1A spec allowing for that Dragapult to, EX to attack with just one single energy attachment.
You can feel the inevitability now of Tord Reklev. There is no Toedscruel EX in play to protect these Pokemon on the bench from these damage counters from the Phantom Dive. There's no opportunity for Ray to even get a Toedscruel EX into play. Probably not at any point for the rest of this game. Every time you put down a Toedscruel, it's just going to get knocked out by the Phantom Dive. What can Ray possibly do in this game to battle back? Tord has just found a way to take a lead, and I don't know if he's going to give it up.
I sure wouldn't, Fuka. I sure would not. As that Dragapult EX is ready to swing, we had the choice between a Luminous Energy and a Hawlucha to the hand. Puts the Hawlucha in the hand here for Tord. Still has Supporter for play for the turn. It's going to be the Brock's Scouting here to thin even more through this deck. And look at this deck. It's already so thin. We do have the evolution Pokemon for the Brock's Scouting to be utilized to get that Dracloak out.
Yep, and just doing a quick check. Did that Dreepy come into play this turn?
Right.
I don't remember.
I actually don't know.
He said he doesn't remember either.
Yeah. I think it did.
He's like, I don't remember.
Yeah, we'll find out, I guess.
Yeah.
You're unsure.
Yeah, easy for them to check there. But yeah, as you said, Puka, there's only one Toedscruel in play, and it is not the EX. It's just that Slime Mold Colony Toedscruel, which, I mean, by the way, has hindered a lot of other matchups. You know, you can't do your Night Stretchers. You can't do any sort of energy retrieval from the discard pile. Your
Golden
discard
Go
pile
does not want to see that.
It's locked down. You can't do anything against that. You can't get anything out of your discard pile, and that can really hurt a lot of matchups there for Ray Chen. Curious to see how much weight that Slime Mold Colony has carried, but
Does seem like the Dreepy has been in play for a turn, so should be good to evolve. It's like we're just getting confirmation on that from the judges, and we do. Yep, Tor just double checking. Is this okay? Am I good? Don't want to find out after I use Recon Directive that I wasn't allowed to evolve.
I like the caution, I do. Here's the Recon Directive here between an Iono and a Fire Energy. One could go to the hand, the other goes to the bottom of your deck here, but Tord's in a position he wants to see. He got the Neo upper energy. These Pokemon on the bench for Ray, besides that Teal Mask Ogerpon, do not have energy. There's no Toedscruel, even if they did have the energy to protect them here. And Tord has just been running away. We see the Hawlucha with the flying entry. This was netted off one of the Recon Directive here. Was being debated heavily. Is going to put those 10 damage counters on both the Teal Mask Ogerpon and that Latias EX. Getting rid of that 10.
Yeah, I think a simple game plan from Tord from here on out is just going to be 3 attacks and 6 prize cards. Knock out this Steel Mask Ogerpon, 5 damage counters go on the Toedscruel, and you can put one more on that other Teal Mask Ogerpon EX. They all are now in range of Phantom Dive, 200 damage knockouts.
My God.
Ray can finally use item cards, but is it too little, too late? Yeah, it's not looking great for our Toedscruel. Ugh.
Yeah, it's tragic to see this. Absolutely tragic. But Tord Reklev, he's doing it again. We saw the multi-prize
getting
card.
away with it.
I know, that's what I'm saying. It's honestly nuts here. Ray Chen is going to do everything here to hang on in this matchup. Has the Super Rod here to shuffle the some Pokemon and energy back into the deck, but like you said, Kyle, is it too little, too late? We have the bug catching set here. Top 7 to get a Pokemon. Yeah, I mean, this is just not what you want to see. Look how thin that discard pile even is. Tord has been completely in control of this entire matchup so far here, locking the item cards, fully setting up, and just striking on Ray Chen's entire board here. And like you saw, the 10 was put on the Teal Mask Ogerpon. That puts it at perfect damage to just be taken out by this Dragapult EX. When you're facing off against a deck that has the ability for the counter catchers and 4 bosses orders in there, you are going to struggle here. We're going to see the Teal dance from this Teal Mask Ogerpon and try to get somewhere here for Ray Chen.
I was trying to think if there was any amount of energy that's possible to get enough onto a single Teal Mask Ogerpon EX to use Myriad Leaf Shower to knock out a Dragapult EX. It's a lot.
Right.
I think you need 10 combined energy between the 2 active Pokemon. There's 2 on the Dragapult, so you would need like 8 energy on the Teal Mask Ogerpon EX. Does not seem likely. Yeah, just where are the prize cards coming from if you're Ray? The Toedscruel is just not going to be an option in this one.
Sad.
How are you going to just piece together knockouts in this game? You have 4 prize cards left to take before Tord only has to take 3. Is there some way to pull this off?
Exactly. And I mean, one of the 2 prize Pokemon out there for Tord has 320 HP. I mean, it's just a huge, almost unsurmountable conquest you have to do here, but we're going to strike into this Dragapult EX. It's not going to take the knockout here, but it is going to count extra damage for each of those energy attached to both. I mean, I ain't surprised. It's like his whole deck is in his hand. The hand is thickums here for Tord Reklev. We got the Ultra Ball just casually discarding these 2 Buddy Poffin just to take a look here through the deck. Select this Dragapult EX here. And that's a healthy one right there for Tord Reklev. Of course, the Neo upper energy is attached to the one in the active position there for Tord. But only 3 prize cards left between Tord and taking a win against one of his most difficult matchups here in our Masters top 8. Is Tord Reklev going to be able to do this once again? Recon Directive into either that Luminous Energy or an Ultra Ball.
Yeah, and at this stage, Tord is just trying to figure out what are the ways I could possibly lose.
Right.
And how can I just shut the door on this game? Is there some weird thing that could get me? Probably not. As long as he can set up another attacker, you got to think it's going to be...
As long as you're not decking out, you know?
Well, yeah, that would be an embarrassing way to lose.
There's no way. Oh, my goodness. Well, we have the energy attachment here.
Drop the Durant EX on you.
Yo! The secret tech here. Dragapult EX is going to get that fire energy on the bench here, lining up a healthy attacker soon for Tord as he continues to go. Oh, look at this, too. The Professor's Turo to pick up that Hawlucha again. You could just play it down and use it again if you really wanted to, but not going to be this time. The Latias EX is going to join our bench here. And that jamming tower has actually been there for the whole game, just doing nothing, jamming nothing.
Yep. So you see Tord just setting up the inevitable attack for game next turn. 200 damage on this Teal Mask Ogerpon EX. Now it will just take 1 boss's orders plus a Phantom Dive for a 4 prize cards. Yeah, the Hawlucha can do it as well.
It's been scooped up.
But Tord just has access to his entire deck at this point. Even an Iono here really wouldn't do that much. He's going to draw 3 cards. He has flipped the script available. There's a Dragapult on the bench with that energy ready to go. It's just not a pretty situation.
It absolutely is not. We're going to see the energy switching over to that Iron Leaves EX. That is going to be a healthy attacker here for Ray Chen with that Rapid Vernier ability. Allows you to Prism Edge instantly if you have enough energy in play to shift onto it. Why are you laughing, Buka?
Just Tord looking at his hand like, oh, what's going to the bottom of my deck? Oh, yeah, all of it.
Everything.
Yeah.
Off of this Iono, of course, Tord's going to have a slimmer hand, a much slimmer hand here of just 3 cards. Ray Chen doing everything here to limit Tord, but it's been a tough match.
Yeah, Ray is finding probably the only possible way to win this one is going to come in with the Iron Leaves EX and use Prism Edge for the knockout and try to set up another attacker for the next turn to try to close things out. It's not very likely, but got to take your chances where you can. Take the knockout, go down to 2 prize cards, and it's pretty simple for Tord. An energy card plus a boss's orders, a counter catcher.
There's the energy.
That is it.
There's the boss's orders.
Tord Reklev advances to the top 4 at the North America International Championships, taking down one of his most difficult matchups. What an incredible run, an exciting run for Ray Chen. Just 2 tournaments, the Portland Regional Championships, now this one, coming out of nowhere with this Toedscruel deck. Really an incredible story coming to an end here. But he does it again. Tord Reklev moving on to the top 4.
He does it again. The light has shone down on Tord Reklev. So unfortunate here for Ray Chen not being able to defeat Tord once again, but